Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you all for joining this call. Thank you to the organizer, Mr. Francis and Mrs. Ebun. And thank you for others that are also joining as well. This is really impactful. My name is Olatunde Badmus. I'm the founder of Excel Homes. I'm presently located in Houston, Texas. I think it's like 3:18 a.m. here in Houston, Texas. Yeah, so before I go, let me just give a short some background about myself. I came to the US as an international student, did my master's and did my first master's, computer science, did executive MBA, and I later started my career here in the US, worked with some of the top tech companies, and later went back to, had a degree in Harvard Business School. So while in the career space, in the tech space in the US, I started my real estate journey and worked in Oracle, leading some team there before I fully had to go into the real estate and into development here in the USA. So someone was saying something. He said, the question is, why are we here? What exactly do we want to do? So I'm just gonna give a short background into what we do in US and what has really helped us in the US. And I believe that would also be I believe that would also be helpful to us also in Nigeria as well. So like for example, what helped us when we started, there were a few things I made research about, which is the real estate journey. And I believe it also applies in the US that when we wanted to start, real estate here, it's very capital intensive and you need a lot of permits. You can buy a lot. If you don't have a permit, you can't even go there to do anything. And sometimes permit takes 1 year, 6 months. So everything from one stage to the other stage, you need lots, you need multiple permits. So you can have a house of $400,000. If you don't have the correct permits, you've just wasted your time. So one thing that really helped us to me before I went into the real estate journey was people would always say this thing that what you need first in any business or you need money. If you give me the money, I'm gonna do well in real estate. I would say it doesn't apply that. I think the first thing that is needed is the product and also the industry knowledge. And for example, in the US, before I actually got into the real estate space, the question I asked myself is, what exactly is the core industry knowledge to excel in the real estate industry in this US? Because when I started, there were very few Nigerians, very, very few, that were not just doing realtors, but that were developing that, like we are building communities, like not we are not just selling, but you want to build communities. So I checked within my space. I didn't see so many people. That was the truth. I didn't see so many people. So the first thing that really helped me was the industry knowledge. Like the question is, what exactly drives the real estate market in the US? I was really concerned. What drives? And two things, and I believe that somehow would also apply to Nigeria. The first thing is the interest rates, and also the price of the house, the interest rate. So if you're buying home in the US, everybody's concerned, oh, interest rate is high. When interest rate is high, nobody wants to buy because there's always this assumption that when the interest rate is high, we believe that the mortgage we are going to be paying is also going to be high. So a home can cost $500,000. If the interest rate is high, like people don't even care. Maybe the person is selling lower or higher. So be like if it's the interest rate is high, nobody wants to buy. So when I did my research, I found out that when interest rate is high, people say it is not a time to buy. I really found out that it's when interest rate is high, is somehow one of the best time to buy home in the US. Let me just put that context in Nigeria. Let's say when people are, maybe you want to loan money from bank, when the bank is giving you high interest rates, people say, no, don't buy now. The interest rate in the bank is like maybe five, maybe like one, maybe like 30%. So, oh, don't buy, don't buy. It is 30%. Let's wait until we get to 20%. So when interest, I found out that what gave me the entry point into the US was I made my research and I found out one of the best time to buy is when the interest rate is high. And that was how I was able to get deals when we initially started because people never wanted to buy. And when I was to buy a particular home, the interest rate was high because there was nobody in the market, like very few buyers were in the market when interest rates are high. I was able to negotiate a lot with the buyer. So the buyer give a lot of concession. A home that naturally would cost $450,000 because there were very few of us in the market buying home. They gave a concession maybe close to like $60,000 or so. So that became my bargaining point. I said, wow, that's nice. So we could even get it. We could get this good chunk of, bargain from the builders when the interest is high. So that was how I went into real estate and I were able to make some good sales because I told people that, see, guy, you are leaving money on the table if you are not buying home now. And the reason I did that was that I had a real industry knowledge. So I told people, come, this, I said, no, they don't want to buy. I told them, no, if you buy from this, if you buy a home now, I would negotiate so high with the buyer that you'll get more incentive now than even when the interest rate is low. And I did that. When I did that, we're able to make some good chunk of money, and that helped us to be able to, we're able to go fully into real estate. And which I said the first thing is the industry knowledge. There's always a perception about knowledge around the world. Some people think, like in Nigeria, don't buy home in a particular place. Don't buy homes that are expensive. Oh no, don't buy homes that are expensive. Maybe don't buy home in the island, don't buy home in the mainland. But I feel that if you have a real industry knowledge and you could break it down to a layman, this is the reason why you should buy a home worth maybe worth $1 million in Nigeria. And you could break it down because when I was telling people I have my data, and I would say if you want to be professional in anything, don't just talk to people, show them data. I showed them my first data. There was a particular home, the home cost around $450,000. But when we bought the home, because the interest rate was high, we bought that home around for like, I think it was around maybe 480,000 or $490,000. That means the buyer were able to save a cost close, I think close like $70,000. So the figure was there. So when I'm talking, I tell them, see, these are the figures. When we started land banking in the US, because the interest rate was high, we were able to get a large concession. We're involved in around the 1,000 acres of land within the corridor of Houston and corridor of Texas. And all of those things happened when the market was volatile. And the reason is that people were not going into the market at all. People were not going, I don't want to buy now. It's so high. And I tell people the best time to always make money in any industry, it is when people are pulling out. Like you said, the housing market in Lagos is crap. I don't want to buy. No, 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 no. A lot of demolition, I don't want to buy. When people are pulling out of the market, one thing I found out in the US, and I believe it will also apply in Nigeria, there'll be very few players in that market, very few players. And the few players in that market will control the narrative. Up to now, the interest rate is still high, and we are building homes. We are presently building 20 units in Houston, Texas. Each of our unit goes around, I think, for around $410,000 also. And we did, and I really found out that why? Because there are very few players in the market, and people don't want to go because the market is volatile, it's not a good time. But because we have very few players in the market, it actually gave us the opportunity to determine many things. And it's just the way in many markets are when they are, when the risk is very high, most people don't go in. The people that are going, well, the risks become so high, but if they understand the dynamics of the market and the industry knowledge, they will control the price, they will control the narrative. Till now, interest rate is high. People will tell you this is never a good time. Never a good time to go to buy home in the US. And that was the time we started. And that was the time we started building. So to anybody doing especially in the real in that space, please just make more research. The reason why people are saying don't buy a home might be your best opportunity to sell to your customers. And the next thing is communication. You know, communication skills and marketing is very, very important. In anything you do, communication and marketing is very important, very important. I learned that the hard way. I'm going to say that when it comes to marketing, I am not that, I don't see myself as a marketer. I just see myself, we build, we sell. So, there was a particular home we built and we're selling the home. We're selling the home far less at a particular price. And we're finding it hard to sell because I gave it to, my marketing team. Realtors were trying to negotiate. But later I found out that the home that the price, I'm just giving the particular price. The price was like for 390,000 dollars. We brought it down to like $380,000 so as to get people. We're having issues. And I saw that same particular home. Someone is selling it for around 420 and $30,000. People were buying it. I had to go tell her that, you know what, see, take this home, sell it. Take the say you are the realtor, right? Just sell it. I won't take your realtor's percentage, take commission. That money was supposed to come to me, but because of my marketing skills when we started was very poor. I was just leaving money on the table. And she was really cashing out. We were building, she was really cashing out. And she still come, oh, you guys, do you have any home on ground? And I had to gladly give it to her because as a realtor, she could sell what I could not sell. And I really found out she's been able to breaking into the marketing space in the US. So the same thing, I believe, the same thing applies to marketing as well in any way that we are. Like it's good for people to understand, the marketing, like who are the people buying the home, what exactly is their demographic, how do we get their contact, how do we appeal to them? Could it be social media? She, those the realtor I'm working with, they have a high presence in social media, very high presence in social media, more than I do. And that is giving them a very good edge. So, we can't in this age of, content, social media, it goes a very, very long way in helping you to actually get your clients and how you're going to close your deal. I never knew that. I was just, building. I never even considered that as something very important. But um that actually taught me a lesson. So I would say I think the next thing is also, the marketing, the marketing side, which is very important. If people don't, no matter how good your product is, if you don't understand how to market it, it's just going to be in the market. It's just going to be there. People will not know. The same way we had our product in the market, we're struggling to get clients. And I just took it and I give it to a particular realtor, and she made the magic. She really made a huge magic, and she's making a huge chunk of money. So I would say for professional realtors, even I know of people in Nigeria that are also selling homes in the US because they are Nigerians that wants to buy home in the US. For example, US is going to be hosting World Cup next year, and they'll be playing a particular match in Houston. So by default, there's this perception that the cost of home is going to skyrocket within that period of time. And because there'll be people around the world coming to the US, there's going to be demand on the housing market. People want to do Airbnb, people want to do Airbnb, people want to buy home, people want to rent home, people want to stay around Houston, Texas. So there are Nigerians I know that are buying home in the US, and there are people I know that are Nigerians that are selling homes for Nigerians that wants to buy home in the US. The first person, honestly, the first person I worked with was an architect. He's based in Nigeria. I don't know. He's based in Nigeria, and he's a renowned architect here in the US. So that means his cost of living is living in Nigerian. His cost of living is in Nigeria, but he's earning his money in dollars, and he's also selling homes. So that's that part of people can also do that. You can also do your realtor, even if you're in Nigeria. If you're also in Nigeria, you understand the US market, you can negotiate with people. Like there are some time where people would negotiate with us. Come, we are also going to help you market your price to people in Nigeria, and we are going to get this incentive because there are quite a number of Nigerians that wants to buy a home in the US and they don't even understand how to buy the home. Like, oh, do I need the money? You don't need all the money. You don't need to have a visa to come to US if you want to buy a home. You don't need to have a green card. You don't need to have a resident permit. You can buy a home with 20%. So I know there are we have a department that handles that, but most people don't know. So when we started doing that seminar for people, oh wow, so with 20%, I can buy my home, I can rent my home. That means when you buy your home at that price, when you rent it, that means it will be your tenant that it's paying for your mortgage. And when your house appreciates, you can pull out your equity. So that also takes me back to knowledge. So when most people in Nigeria, the reason why some of them started to say, okay, I want to buy a home in Nigeria. And I now told them that, see, this is how it works. This is how it works. It all goes back to the industry knowledge. And we're able to get good people like this is how it works. If you're in Nigeria and I want to buy a home in the US, let's say the home is $300,000. Hypothetically, it's $300,000, and you're in Nigeria. What they will request from you, if you are not in the US, it's going to be 20%, which is typical, which is like around $60,000. So when the person buys the home, he begins to pay his mortgage. Maybe the mortgage can be 2,000 or maybe $2,000 or $3,000 monthly. So when you buy that home, I told them when you buy that home, all the investment you need is just the initial payment. But when you buy that home, you can put that home, for rent, and your tenant will be the one paying for that rent. And the way the real estate market works in the US that many Nigerians don't know. I say, oh, the worst thing I can ever do is to buy a home in the US that you're going to pay home for over 60 for 30 years. Before I came to the US, that was the conception. Someone told me I will never buy a home in that country. You people are all slaves. Why are you going to buy a home and it will take you 30 years to own the home? So what about if you die before 30 years? What happens? That means you've paid. I said, no, you don't understand. I said, well, you don't understand how it works. You don't understand how it works. The way it works is when you buy a home, and that was what helped us, which goes back to industrial knowledge. If you can break things down to people, people will buy anything from you if you have the willingness. I said, listen, the way it works is people that buy home in the US, they don't buy because they want to pay up the money in 30 years. No. They buy a home because as the home value begins to appreciate, so when you buy a home, because they want to pull out the equity. So you can buy a home and after 2 years, the house will appreciate. Let's say the man that bought a home from Nigeria, the home is maybe the man put maybe $60,000. Within 2 years or a year, if that house appreciates, that man can pull out $70,000 from that home. My first home that I bought, the equity on that home is more than the money I'd put in that home, maybe times four, times five. So I can pull out that equity and go and buy four other homes. So that is how it works. Most people don't know. So the reason why I'm saying that is that I had to study to understand it, and I could use that as a selling point to sell homes to people in Nigeria. Tell them that you can put in your money and within a year or more than a year, you can maybe get times three of that money. And you can use that same money and buy three other homes and you begin to, increase your portfolio. People can come in into the US and understand that mathematics and you can increase your portfolios maybe to like 10 properties within a very short, period of time. I'm speaking from experience and I'm speaking, what I've done. And I'm just putting that context out there. Let's say for people that wants to buy a home in Nigeria, and you're a realtor, you can sell home. You can sell home to them with that knowledge because I know of people that are still reaching out to us that actually wants to buy home. And the next one is also, I would say it is building real relationship, with customers and with clients. It has really helped us as a business that we had to continually build, relationship with people. There are people that because of the relationship I've built with them, they've introduced buyers to us. They've introduced buyers. Some of the, deals we've gotten, some of the contractors I've worked with in the US, they were all based on the relationship someone I've worked with and worked with them with integrity. They've been the one that have, you know, what's it called? Recommended someone. Oh, I've seen this Nigerian guy. He builds home. I think I've checked his home. You can go check them out if you want to buy a home, if you want to do business with them. And good number, I've gotten some real good business deals from people based on, a recommendation, customer relationship. I've kept that relationship. And the last part I would say before I drop the mic is, well, nobody's going to save you. You have to save yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to just be motivated in anything you want to do. And you just have to make up your mind that this thing you are doing, well, it has to work out well. It has to. In any way, it has to work out well. And sometimes when you're trying to do something, maybe as a realtor, you are trying to create a space for yourself that you have not seen. You've not seen anywhere that have done that particular thing. But you have to really sit down and ask yourself, why do I need this thing? How bad do I need this thing? When I started, well, I didn't start as a realtor in the US. Neither do I have many years of experience before I started building. Like I said, I've been in the tech industry. I've been in the tech industry. So it wasn't that I've been doing realtor in the US. No, I've been in the tech industry. And when I transitioned fully into real estate development, we had a goal of building 10 units, which is, I think the goal was around $4 million, which is 10 units. And, most people I spoke with very few people because good investors will tell you, Badmos, what you are doing is not reasonable. You've been in the tech industry your life. You now moved into real estate and you are saying you want to build 10 units within a short period of time. What do you understand about the real estate in the US? This thing would not work. You are taking too much of risks. You are taking too much of risks. So there are very few people I told because I know so many people who said this thing you are trying to do is not possible. By the grace of God, we've achieved that. We've achieved that goal, and we are going bigger. I think in a month, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be breaking ground for our new extension close to Houston downtown. I think that would have around 16 units. We already acquired the land and we're going to be breaking the ground. And why do I say so? That in anything you want to do, whether you're a realtor, you want to move from realtor to being a developer, just have a very strong, compelling goals that will say, this is what we want to do. That sometimes you are going to tell people and they say, hey, forget about it. Like this thing is not possible. I read what Mr. Francis said. He said by 2030, the company is going to be one of the most reputable, real estate company in Nigeria. So to some people, it's not possible. What exactly are you saying? It's not possible. Sometimes people are going to tell you why these things are not possible. Because I know you might not have experienced it if you are not in the US. But if you are in the US as Nigerian, sometimes when you come to the US, there's this limiting belief. You're an immigrant in this place. White people are not going to like you. No white person is going to like you. You can't do real business. As Nigerians, when you travel abroad, all you just need to do is just, just do your small business, go to work, drive your Uber, do your nursing. I'm not against any of those jobs. It's very fine. But, there's this limiting belief sometimes that chokes us up, Nigerians in the US. You don't really want to attempt business because, look at the color of your skin. There's racism, there's this, there's that. I had to break out of those limiting values. Yeah, I had to because 99% of the people I work with, my contractors, sites, my bank officers, yeah, most of them are white people. That's the truth. Most of the people, Mexican, white people. Maybe hardly 1% of Nigerians that I work with in when we are building. Some of them I don't even understand. Yeah, accent could be an issue. Some of them are Mexican. They don't even speak English. They are the one that are building our homes. And that was the same. I was able to do that because I made up my mind. We can break in into this sector. We can break in into the sector. I don't care what anybody says. I can break in into the sector. I can break and I'll break in into it. I'll break into it. I don't care what you say. Either you believe me or not, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm a black person, I'm in Nigeria, it doesn't mean anything to me. We've gone into deals, I'm the only one, I'm the only Nigerian there. Like someone said, oh, how did you get to know about this? How do you start building? I said, well, I'm here, and I own my company. Are you the owner? Yes. Oh, wow, wow. Oh, so you guys are doing this? Wow. How you guys? I said, well, it doesn't matter where I'm from, either I'm from Nigeria, I'm from anywhere, as long as we own the company, we are doing the business. So I'm just really saying this that as you go into what you are doing, there'll be self-limiting beliefs that people are going to tell you that this thing is not possible. And I've seen that a lot in the US, Nigeria. It's not possible. We are here in the US. Let's just be doing our small life, take mortgage, buy car on car note, and just be enjoying life. If you can buy a house, just buy your one house and be doing things. And what really helped me also is the relationship. I have relationship with people that are Africans, that they have over 200 homes in the US. Africans or immigrants. It's not that they gave birth to them in US. Or a particular lady, she came from Nigeria, have 200 homes. This is not a legal business. So I'm not talking of people doing shady business, real business. People doing legitimate business. They've been able to understand how the real estate cycle, and they've been over two. Imagine someone having 200 rental properties in the US. If you don't do anything for life, you keep getting income from all of your houses. So those were the people I was learning from. And I said that this thing is possible because there are people that would also come to the US. They'll tell you, don't buy a home in the US. You are deceiving yourself. Never. You are wasting your money. Nonsense. Don't buy. And there are people who already have 200. So the last thing is also, keep right relationship. Anything you want to do, if you see someone that is already doing it, learn from them. It's simple. No matter their age, learn from them. It would, that is really what has helped me over the years. Learn from them. There are people that are doing the real things I want to do in the US. I learn from them. So sometimes I don't have conversation with them, because of where they are. But I learn from them. I go to their page, I check what they are doing, I look at their project. I said, okay, this is what they are doing. And I give ourselves a goal in 6 months' time. What do we want to do? We want to break a new ground, we want to start building a new estate. So I'm just going to leave you with that. I mean, anything you do, please be self-motivated, and yeah, just believe, you can achieve things. You can achieve things with the right people, with the right environment. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm not trying to tell you if you use one naira to get $10 million. I'm not saying that, but I'm just trying to give you what has really helped us and how we've been able to do that. And you can replicate it anywhere. Someone could say it is because you're in the US. That is why you are saying, I can tell you categorically. I built home in Nigeria, I built in US. One of the hardest place to start real estate construction is in the US because of it is capital intensive and because of the what's it called compliance. If you don't pass an inspection, like the way it works, when you start before you build your foundation, it will be inspected. After you've completed it, they are going to pass your inspection. before you now start putting, Nigeria will put wood here, will put wall. If you don't pass your inspection for foundation, if you put anything else, you build it, they will tear it down. It's not that they'll wait for until when you are done with your building, one government. No, no, no. From that part, they will tear it down. Every every part of the way, you need inspection. Some of them inspection, they cost money. You might have your people on site. If they don't pass inspection, you've wasted money for that day. So it is very, very capital intensive and it has a lot of restrictions. And if people could do it, so if people could do it in the US, it could be even more easy than doing it in Nigeria. Yeah, so that is all. Thank you everyone. If you have any question, please you can unmute yourself. You
Awesome.
can ask on me. Thank you.
Awesome. 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 Everyone, just put in value on the chat box. If you just open the chat box and type in value, we'll be opening up the ground for questions and answers now. But please type in value. Awesome. 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 Please kindly do that. Whatever you celebrate, you accelerate in your life. Type in value, value, value. So much value. Thank you so much, Mr. Olatude. We Badmos, we celebrate you. Just the way you poured out your heart. You've said a lot in this short moment. A lot. Anybody who can connect will understand that what you want to see is to learn by examples. Mr. Olatude, thank you so much. You've shared so much value. We have questions for you, but before we actually take up our own questions, just to get people to really take a deep dive. You've said a lot, not a man of many words, but a man of action. Action takers are the one who rule the world. Thank you so much for those insightful bullets. I hope you are writing. Note takers are money makers. Thank you so much, Mr. Olatude Badmos. So much value. If you've not typed in value, please go in there and put in value. Value. Thank you so much. Before we have some of the lead questions we have for you, I want to open up the floor for some of our participants here. If you have a question, please just unmute and take your question. It's going to be in an orderly format. You have a question from Mr. Olatude. In case you don't know him, he's the founder of Excel Homes in the US. This individual has led and they've opened up many, many estates in the US, in the Houston side of the United States of America. He came in, if you know his story, I'm just going to get him to share part of his story so you know how he started. He didn't start with all his bread buttered, coming into the US with virtually little or nothing. All he came with was faith and belief to succeed. And then he shifted his mindset, and eventually today he's not just building properties, also impacting lives world over. Like I speak to you, it's just about 3:50 a.m. where he is in the US, where he's awake and is ready. Superstars, that exemplary leadership for me is unparalleled. So quickly, if you have a question for him, he is the founder of Excel Homes in the US. He's a Nigerian. He wasn't born in the US. The bread was not buttered, but he buttered that bread. So superstars, if you want to ask questions, you have the opportunity now to ask any question touching any area of interest as it concerns real estate. Over to you. Just unmute. We have Abe, we have Dallas Realtors, we have Emeka Emmanuel. Thank you. We have Kev7, we have Kingsley iPhone, we have Ladi, we have Nam, we have, of course, Pastor Basanjo Samuel. So, superstars, we also have Adobe Ezogui. I see people connecting and joining to get this live resource. In the word of Tofla, learner shall inherit the earth, but the land are beautifully prepared for a world that never exists. In the words of Tofla, one profound man who has shifted the world horizon, he said, learner shall inherit the earth, but the land are beautifully prepared for a world that never exists. So before, as those questions come, Mr. Olatude, we just wanted you to, in your own context, I know you have your story. Can you share with us how you started? Just a little bit with context. I know coming into the US, you didn't come with a lot of money or you didn't come with. But of course, what kept you going, regardless of the challenges? One of some of the challenging parts you have gone through and you've traveled. A lot of people think it just luck or mere opportunity or circumstance. But what
Okay.
was your story?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Let me just quickly answer this. Because sometimes when people don't have understanding of people's background, they just believe, oh, these guys came in with money. So I'm a Christian, and I'm gonna tie my success to my faith walk with God, and I'm a believer. So before I came to the US, the last home I lived in was in Ikorodu, not in Ikorodu, inside the Dogunyon. My house rent yearly then that was 2016, 2016. My house rent was 120,000 naira in a year. And I'm gonna be frank, I struggled to pay 120,000 naira in a year. I think which in the current tax, maybe which is in the current exchange rate, maybe it's gonna be $80. So I couldn't pay that in a year. But what really helped me, because at the particular time I lost my job in Nigeria, though I had a lot of certifications, I lost my job. So before I got married, there was no job. But during that season of my life, it was a hard season. My sister had to be giving me 10,000 naira every month. And at the time, I had to, tell my landlord, very good man, Mr. Ali, even when I came to the US, I still called him Monday and I sent him money. I still talked to him. I told him that, say, I can't pay this 1 year, please. Let me pay 60,000 naira for my first 6 months. After the next 6 months, I'm going to pay the next 60,000 naira because it was hard. So the house is more of it's not a face me and face you, but it's very close to face me and face you. That from my window, I can see my neighbor's television. You understand? It's that kind of house that from your window, you can see someone's house. It's too close. Just one room, one bed, one bedroom, but so, small. But what really helped me was that when I was staying in that place, the Bible says, make the vision clear. On my wall, I had the kind of lifestyle I wanted to live. Because I believe in this law. This law is called the law of foresight. You see, what you see early in the morning, what you see first in the morning and late at night, it has a way of shaping your belief system. On that wall, I had it there. I'll go to Harvard Business School. On that wall, I had the kind of life I wanted to live. I had it there on that wall when I was in a code. If you enter my house, small room, but yeah, along that wall are pictures. I just wanted to see things that would, change my perspective, because my reality then was bad. Along the way, I was able to get admission into the US, and when I was to come, I also certainly doesn't have money. My siblings contributed. When I came to the US, all the money I came with, it was my wife and my siblings. They contributed money. When we said, okay, you are the one that said you want to travel abroad, they contributed money. And I remember that I would never forget. In the spring of 2017, because I went to meet my auntie. I saw my school fee. I said, they looked at it, how much? I said, my school fees yearly is around $12,000. And they said, don't worry, it's about law. Put and give you money, just calling us. I was on that plane en route from Lagos to Turkey, Istanbul. And I made up my mind that I would never, ever call anybody back home for money again. I said, if God that has opened this opportunity would not help me, let it be. If I ever call anybody back home, it will be a courtesy call. I would never. I won't call anybody. I won't call. If I would die here, let it be. But to call anybody back on that I want to pay, because I know nobody they can't even give me that money. My parents are already late, my siblings, they were literally, they bought my ticket, flight ticket. My wife was part of it that bought my flight tickets. My siblings contributed money. Okay, when you get there, this small money, just at least you get your room in your hostel. So it wasn't I had any money. And I said it would be stupid of me to call anybody back home. I just made up my mind. So from the first day I got into the US, I just knew that in this book that we are reading, I want to be among the best. I started reading, start because I knew as an international student, at least I need to come out with a very flying colors to get a job and get things done. Look, when I graduated, I was among the best graduating students in Texas A&M University system. Not because I'm good, but because I've made up my mind that this is what I'm doing now. I must read it and I'll pass. And within that context, I got a lot of scholarships. The reason why I never called anybody back home and I paid all of my tuition fee, maybe it will cost maybe around like $40,000 within the space of 2 years, maybe 30 or $40,000, was because I got a lot of scholarships. Any scholarships in this world I'm applying to. And why am I applying there? Why am I applying there? They said necessity is the mother of invention. There's nobody. If I had anybody to call, maybe I wouldn't have applied, but there's nobody. I can't call you. I can't call anybody from home. So there was just this drive that things must work, that my faith in God must produce proof. If it doesn't produce proof, we are dead in this US. You know, it's not that I'm going back to Nigeria, anybody will give me money. You understand? So I made up my mind from day one that things must turn out. Things must. And what also helped me was the relationship I kept when I came to the US. I saw Nigerians that believe that you can't get a job in some of the best companies in the world. And I remember having a conversation with someone. I said, listen, when I graduate from this school, I want to work in some of the biggest companies in the US. And I'm not going there to do menial job. I want to be working there in the leadership role, some of the biggest companies in the US. Shut up, what are you doing? You just came to US 2 years ago. When did you come? I said 2000. You just came 2 years ago. You are deceiving yourself. All those your nonsense motivational people you are living in Nigeria. You don't love me here. You are deceiving yourself. You think that's easy to get job in all of those companies? I said, well, I'm not arguing with you. I told you what I want to do. And in my room, while in school, I had the companies I would work. I had companies I wanted to work. Apple, Google, Facebook. Those top companies that they pay you well. Even if you resign the next day, you can start your company. And I will pray over those things there. I have scriptures, I have Bible scriptures attached to those goals, and I'll pray over them. I have Bible scriptures. Before I graduated, my first job was with the biggest company in the world, Walmart. And I got in there. My first role was a senior data analyst. And I thought, how did you get a job in Walmart? Because I was working at the head office. When you work in a place where you are the only African there, like, how did you get it? And even your colleagues are asking you, how did you, I don't know, ask one of my team members, how did you get this job? Because some of the people I'm working with, they are like 15 years experience. They've been in the company for 20 years before they got to that 15 years, 20 years. So they were, even they too, they were asking me that, how did you get it? Is it that your father knows? I said, which my father is dead now. I don't know anybody in the US. And I resigned, later moved to Oracle, which is the biggest database company in the world. And I was leading a team. All of these things happen not because, I knew anybody, not because, I'm the best, but just because, there's this adage that he that is on the floor has nothing to be afraid of. You get to a certain point in your life, that's it. See, we've gotten to see there's nothing to be ashamed of. Oh. We are already on the floor. So the next place we need to go from this floor must be up. Because we've already fallen down. There's nothing to be ashamed. There's nothing. There's no money. It's not that anybody knows. So we are here on the floor. I'm struggling to pay my house and $500 with my wife. You understand? I remember where I stayed in the US. In fact, when I gave birth to my first child, that place was horrible. Oh, I will never forget it in my life. When there was this particular hurricane we had, and we just gave birth to a baby. I was sleeping this way. My wife was sleeping this way. The house, I don't know how they built the house, but very cheap house. that it's like as if the cold from a house was entering the house. So we were just, it was as if we were sleeping in the fridge. And I was just praying, God, this my daughter should not die because that place was too cold. I don't know how God did it. It was the owner of the house. I don't know. She came at night. She now dropped the duvet, blankets. You guys might need the blanket because the house she gave us, the AC was not working. The heater was not working. I'm like, why are you gonna give us? I said, well, we're already here. We have a new baby. She gave us there was no center heater. So it was a very horrible. I will never forget that house. I still usually tell me that. I said this house almost killed me and my family. But they are transition in life. But all through those time, I already had my mind made up. Now this thing will work home. It's not that because there's nobody. I'm not going back to meet anybody in Nigeria. I'm not. Nobody's giving me anything. This thing must work. It must work through faith. It must work through prayer. It must work through believing in God. Because I'm a Christian, like I said, I believe in God. I'm a faith person. I live by faith. So, until then, when we worked in those companies, we started making money and I transitioned. Not just that I transitioned into tech, I also have a startup company here in the US and I also have a food bank in Nigeria. It's called Pink Food Bank. And I started it a while ago because I also wanted to give back to my community. Food bank where we give to people, we pay people's tuition fee. We send money to people and we do quite a number of things. It's a big NGO. It's called Pink Food Bank. So that was how I started. And when I started making money, I started also making research because, like I said, it is not money you need first. There's always this misconception. It is knowledge you need. I was praying about it. I was researching about it and I said, okay, this is the time for us to go into real estate. And the way it works in the US, you don't just start building household. You need to be a realtor first. But I told my wife, we are building it. I said, listen, we are building. It's not that we are building new communities. And there are very few people I can say that to. Because you are deceiving yourself. Do you know what it means to be building a house? You can put $200,000 in it and everything will sink. Because you've not done it. Don't do it. I said, forget about it. I've prayed about this and I've heard God. I'll go. I told my wife, prayed about it. I've heard God about it. We are moving. I'm not having discussion with anybody because there will be very few people that would tell me to move because of the level of risks in it was too high. You must have done something a bit. Maybe you should have been a realtor in the US. You have been selling house for years, for months before I said, listen, I've heard God on this matter. I'm going. That was how I started. I started making research and working with different people. And like they say, the rest is history. But everything is just packed up in one thing that I think people make that mistake. People go through real issues in life and they think my problem is what I have a special problem. It's a lie. You don't know. Sometimes I talk to people, yeah, you bad must you are just enjoying. God is doing it for you. I said, listen, you don't know anything no. In this US. For over 5 years, I had immigration problem. I didn't have my US paper for over 5 years. I was applying for a particular immigration stuff. They denied me for almost 6 times. Six times. That means for 5 years in a row, they kept denying me. I said, these people are wicked. My wife did it once. They approved her. Me, like 5 times. They kept it. That means my life was stuck. I couldn't do many things then because my immigration was in limbo that they kept, if they've given me, I would have done business for a very long time, but they didn't. They didn't approve it for like 5 years. So I was speaking with someone, said, you are lucky. I said, okay, yeah, I'm lucky, right? When I told her how they've been denying me this immigration benefit for over 5 years, she was like, and you are smiling. I said, oh, we don't have any choice in life. It's not that, should I come and be kind for you? If I'm kind in your face now, what are you going to do? Are you going to help me? You can't help me. I better go and cry to God. So I'm just saying this because at different points in time, people go through different different challenges in life. And we all need to come to this point that no matter what you go through, sir, you are coming out strong. And you come out so strong that people will learn from you. They don't need to know you. Nobody needs to know you. Don't. Yeah, if I've not, most of maybe you don't know me. I don't know most of people. Don't even know you. But you keep your faith in God that this thing we are doing, it will work so big that people would know that there's someone that is working with the wisdom of God. Yeah. So that is how we started, and I was able to get some money from those big companies I've worked. I wasn't living a flamboyant lifestyle. As I was earning money, I don't live flamboyant lifestyle. I started buying real estate, bought my home, bought my first home, bought piece of land. It wasn't that I had all the money, but a little chunk of money, I'll find okay, this is the money I have. It's the same money some people who used to be buying cars and be doing big boy around town in the US. I said, no, me that have suffered in the cold, dude, I couldn't pay a house of 110,000 naira for a year. Now I have money. You now think I'll be using my money to be showing off to whom? No, I said no. So that's how we started buying real estate properties, buying real estate properties, buying real estate properties. And then we now had other businesses here and there. And we now went into real estate developments. I hope that helps. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Latude Badmos. So much humility laced with this individual. Not mentioning numbers or figures, but if you know mathematics, you understand a lot of things of the network of this individual. From humble beginnings in Odongoyo Ikorodu, rising from almost a face me, I face you background property in Ikorodu, Lagos, he built his dream from practically nothing. Today, the same vision has grown into flourishing real estate enterprise, leading multiple thriving estates in Houston, United States. A true testament of resilience, grace, and the power of starting small. Thank you so much. And of course, we're not going to talk about all the academic accolades. Of course, you heard him say he has a master's in information systems, worked with some of the biggest brands in the US, has an MBA, professional MBA, and currently PhD in progress. So this man is a man of many parts. So Mr. Olatude, just thank you so much for that insightful. I know people are writing, people are taking notes. Note takers, like we say, are money makers. Now, the next question, sir, before we open the floor for those who are ready to ask questions as well, we just want to maximize this time. Like I said, this is about 4 a.m. in the US. He's up giving value. So much heart to see people win. Number two question will be, what do you think is the most important ingredient a realtor needs to succeed? What do you think is the most important ingredient a realtor needs to succeed?
Industry knowledge. I'm just the way you're asking most. I don't want to break industry knowledge. Industry knowledge means in anything you want to do, it's not money. There's this misconception that people need money first too. Someone said if you have money before wisdom, the man that has wisdom will take your money and will give you that wisdom. You know that? So you just get money, I need money, they will give you. The man that has wisdom and experience will take your money. He will now exchange it for you. So you have your own wisdom. So it is the industry experiences. This is what I want to do. What exactly do I need? What exactly? The people that the people that are flourishing in this thing, what is it that they know that I don't know? That is the first thing, because it is that industry knowledge that would, because see, there's a level of knowledge you have in anything you do that it will give you some level of confidence that you can walk up to any investor and tell them, say, come listen. This is what we want to do. Come listen. I know you don't know me, oh. Yeah, you don't know me. But this is what we want to do. And these are my data that is available. If you are part of this, within this short period of time, we can maximize this thing. We can spin this thing within a short period of time. You are not trying to lie to him because you are coming with Because I tell you, the best way to convince anybody in this 21st century is to come with data. Come, sir. See, this is what we want to do. This is what we have done before. This is the data. This is when we invested. This is when we particularly did something in real estate. This is the market price. When we sell, this is the sales price. You know, we'll buy this home in this particular neighborhood. This is the market price. I know where we can buy home that will be affordable. We can buy foreclosure home for $5,000. I know how we can buy it. And after a few months, I know how we can resell that price, maybe times 5 or times 10, because foreclosure houses are distressed homes. Homes that people couldn't pay anything, they just sell it off. I know how quick. Don't worry, you have money. Me, I don't have money. Me, I have time. I can be making all that research, be searching for those homes. There are certain homes that are distressed, homes that people just want to, they just need quick money. I want to sell this property, sell it. Put the worth 100,000. Well, give us 50,000 now, give us 50,000. We need to get out. I'm having immigration problems. So you can buy, you buy that 50,000. You don't need to put all your money down. You can also get loan. Buy that 50,000. In 3 months, you can sell it for 100,000. So you have data, you have real data. So the first thing is industry knowledge, a real industry knowledge, a real one. I mean, you are arming yourself with data that when you talk to anybody, if the person is a risk taker, the person will definitely invest in it. So before the money is important. I'm not telling you you are going to use one, you are going to start real estate with 1 naira and later you become a billionaire. But when you have the industry knowledge, it gives you some high level of knowledge, and you'll be able to get people to buy in. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insightful answer. Industry knowledge, industry knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That cannot be overemphasized. To succeed as a professional realtor, you need industry knowledge. The last question from us before we open the floor for people to ask questions. Anybody who understands the part of wisdom will know this is a very precious moment. You don't want to let him go without asking questions. You don't want to. He's a man very, very prized, very, very busy, but he made time to be on this session. We count it a privilege to have him in the second series of the RMA event. So this question is for you, sir. A wise man once said, you need the right skill set, mindset, and tool set to succeed in life. What kind of mindset, which I believe has helped you, do you think a realtor needs to have to succeed, even in the challenging terrain in the real estate sector here in Nigeria? Of course, I'm not in Nigeria at the moment, but in Nigeria, what is the right mindset? Over to you, sir.
Okay. I would, before I go to the specifics, I'm going to go on the general angle. It's just in life. The mindset people need that to succeed is the mindset that says, this thing can work in my hand. There's a passage of Bible that said, well, all things work together for good to them that loves God. Like, the mindset is that this thing can work in my hand, irrespective of the climate condition, irrespective of the government policies, irrespective of anything. Because it all starts with the mindset that this thing must work. After you've made your research, you don't have the knowledge, that you come to a point that sometimes people need to talk, sometimes people need to look at the mirror and talk to themselves. This thing that we are doing must work. Forget it. They don't know us now, but this thing we are doing must work. And they will give themselves, okay, let us give ourselves 4 years. But within these 4 years, in the first 4 months, what exactly do I want to do? Like, what exactly? My very short goal. What's the next 4 goals? Sometimes it's not that you meet all the goals, but having that mindset that this thing must work. So when you go through real trouble waters in life, your mind is already made up that this realtor thing we are doing, they are billionaires in Lagos. They are doing realtor legitimately. If people can do it legitimately, then this thing that we are doing, it has no choice. It has to work. And please let me say this, when people start small, sometimes we want to have relationship with big names. There are big realtors in Nigeria that have big names. And where people miss the mark is in the bid to meet with big names, we get to begin to look down on ourselves because sometimes the big names they are already made up. So you are the one calling, they are not calling back. You are the one doing this, you are trying so hard. Sometimes build your own circle, build your own community from the scratch. Learn from the big names, but tell yourself, what, we are also going to build our brand, and you determine the people that comes into that community. It's not that, there are big names in Nigeria, big names. Maybe you just started, you are just 1 year. You want to talk to a big person that already his profit is in 10 billions of naira. They may not have your time, but you make up your mind. Have this mind made up. This thing we are doing must succeed. And let us build our own community. And you determine the people that comes into your community. I don't bring people into a community because they are your friends. You determine that, see, this thing, guys, let us build this community. These are the value we need in this community. We are going to champion the cause of the real estate industry in Nigeria. Forget about it. They don't need to believe us now, Yazando. They don't need to believe us now. Maybe you don't even have a plot of land, but listen, we are going to champion this thing within a short period of time. And you have the right mindset and you have the right people. Over time, there will be challenges in life, that's the truth. But to me, the mindset I've had when I want to go into things, that this thing we are doing, this thing must work in our hands. It must work. We may change the trajectory, we may change the approach, we may change the system, but the goal is the same. The goal is this: whatsoever we do, we prosper. We may keep changing the strategy. Maybe you say you want to be a realtor. Okay, that's fine. Okay, later. Okay, I think we're having issues selling houses in mainland. Okay, let's go to Ireland. Okay, let's go to Ekpe. Those are the strategy. You keep changing. I think, okay, I'm doing land banking. Okay, maybe I'm going to be selling big, big houses. Oh, okay, maybe last you're going to be selling houses in Banana Island or in Eco Atlantic. You keep changing your strategy and method, but the goal is that one thing. In this thing that we are doing, we'll succeed big time. So to me, the mindset is constant. Whenever I delve into anything, I sit down, I say, this thing we are doing, it must work. And sometimes what helps me is that I keep many options. So when people have too many options in life, you see, it drains their mental focus. This thing we are doing, it doesn't work now, but we don't know what we go do. We don't know. That person too started with a real talk. Guiding work. So let's forget it. So sometimes when I start things, I drain some options. I drain some options. Drain some relationship that are sucking your energy. Telling you how this person to did. He started realtor. Now he's no longer a realtor again. He's selling bread in Okoko. They will keep telling you things that are not working. So just focus on have those mindsets and lastly, I'll say pray about it anyway because at the end of the day, it takes the help of God. It always takes the help of God. We can't take God and faith out of this equation. Take it to God in prayer and ask for his mercy and grace. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are excited to have you. That's the summary of just gonna make. And then the sacrifice you have made to be here this morning. You woke up possibly before 3 a.m. just to give value at no cost. Thank you so much. Superstars, you want to take advantage of this opportunity we have here. We have the MD CEO of Excel Homes, started with virtually nothing, right from Odonguyo in Ikorodu. If you know that place, you know that place. So you want to ask your question right now. If you have any question, kindly unmute. We still have him here, Mr. Olatude Badmos. He's the CEO of Excel Home in the US. They broke many grounds, opened estates, and of course, still counting. If you have questions, we still have him here, Mr. Olatude Badmos. Please unmute and ask your question. Anyone with questions? We have Adobe Ozegwe, we have Dallas Realtors, we have Emeka Emmanuel, Fei Shara, Kev7, we have Kingsley, we have Ladi. Okay, I think someone. Okay, over to you, Mr. Fei Shara. Over to you.
Yes, my question is, how do you handle rejection, sir?
Well, thank you so much. Um, how do I handle rejection? So let me put it this way. You see, I think there's a misconception around success that failure is the opposite of success. So when people are planning for things and when they fail in it, man, I won't do this thing. The truth is that failure in itself, it's part of the ingredients that is needed in success. I'm careful in the choice of my words because I don't want to sound as a motivational speaker that is speaking without context to things. Because sometimes motivational speakers could derail people because we might be speaking without context, factual context into what we've done. How do you handle rejection? Number one is to understand that the rejection in itself is part of the ingredients that is needed in the business. That's the truth. And I'll give you an example. I remember when I was in school, in school, we're doing something. I was finding it very hard to understand a particular subject. And the teacher walked up to me and said, you don't look serious. Oh. You're an international student. You don't look serious. You are not even do this course we gave you. You failed it. You are not doing well. You are not doing this assignment well. Do you truly want to, when you graduate, do you truly want to get a good job in this country? Do you want to do some things good with your life? I looked at her. I said, oh, do I want to do something? I didn't say anything. I just looked at her. I've had conversation with people in this US when we first came to the US, and the way people are going to despise you, like look at you, like people are talking, you are talking. You just came to the US a few years ago, and you are talking like you could see the disdain they are going to look at you with. You see, those things really helped me because there are certain level of rejection you have. You go back to your drawing board and say, you know what? If we don't make this thing big time, they will be fool in the eyes of these people. There are certain level of rejection you get. It will make you go back to your drawing board and you will say, see, I don't want to prove to them, but I want to prove to myself that I know what I'm doing. Those things are needed. When you see some people who are highly motivated, it's not that they are some of the motivation that have helped in life. It's not because of just the books and people I've listened to. But you see, we've handled certain level of rejections while growing up and what people have said. You understand? And you've made. Yeah, I remember a time when I was in a Kodu, my elder sister came to my wow. She be talking bearing. Hey. She be talking bearing because before I got to Ikodu, I was living in Lusada. I don't know that you know Lusada. You get to Agbara, you go inside. She looked at me like, she be talking bearing. So those things, they were I would say some of the rejections, if you understand it well, you should use them as an ingredient to cook your success. Sometimes it is good, sometimes failure is good, sometimes rejection is good. That you wanted to do things and people said, "Oh, you are not qualified. We can't give you this bid of 2 billion naira. You don't have any track record in real estate now. Why now? You don't know you now. Who are you?" Then you can go back to your drawing board and said in 3 years' time, we are not going to call these people again. They'll call. I'm telling you, their relationship that people have rejected, I've made up my mind. I would never call this contact again. They will see what we are doing and they'll call for us. And it's not that you're angry with them, but because you have made up your mind that this thing we are doing, you will do it so big that the people that rejected us, sir, they will send us an email. We've heard of the things you are doing in this US. We want you to come and speak. You are not doing it because you're angry with them, because you are doing it because you've made up your mind. I've had relationship, I've rejection from relationship, no bad blood towards them, but me, I've made up my mind. I may not call this relationship again, but you know what? We'll do this thing so big that they will see what we are doing. And when they call us at that point, you see, we are not the one, we are not the one begging. At that point, we are coming in as partners. The people that might have rejected you now, maybe you want to join their Realtor. You said you can make up your mind that next time I won't be the one joining their Realtor club. They will call me to come and be on their board, By the grace of God, I'm a board member of Harvard Business Review. Just that they invited me to come and join the board. We were waiting the email to some of those people before they rejected us. So you get to your point that this thing, you understand? So let that rejection, let it be a stepping stone. Take it, handle it well. Don't have bad blood because people rejected you. Sometimes people have bad blood. Don't feel bad. Don't I won't talk to you again. I'll show you Pepe. There's no need showing anybody Pepe. I'll prove to you. There's no need proving anybody to anybody. There's no need. Well, just have the right mind. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking from the heart. So insightful, so real. Anybody who understands the journey will know this is practical. This is not just motivation. It is true life story we can learn from. The best way to pass mathematics is to follow the example. Any other questions? We still have him here, the MD CEO of Excel Homes in the US, broken many grounds, opened estates from nothing, from Odongoyo in Ikorodu. I just had another one now. Now, before then, there was another location. Do you have any questions? You can unmute. We still have him here. It's a privilege. It's not a right. If you want to ask any question, this is your moment.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Olatunde Badmus. I was so blessed by the presentation. And there is a saying that if you want to have the lion's share, you must have the lion heart. I can see a man that has actually determined to actually make it in life. And we are so happy that your testimony has been a blessing to us and has actually been a source of encouragement. But there are some things I quickly want to ask. I have 3 questions, which I think they are very important. The number one, you talk about collaboration, which I feel is very important because a tree cannot make a forest. Then notwithstanding, so what are some of the requirements that one must consider in those that one can actually build, can actually work together as a one? I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. So what are some of the requirements one must actually see in them? Or what must be the minimum requirement they must have? Because you can't say you want to actually build a team, you want to collaborate with people. So anybody that just come your way, then at the end of the day, you just absorb them. So that's number one. Then number two is about the law of the land. So I have a little understanding, or let me say I have very much understanding about real estate. I'm still learning. But notwithstanding, I'm in Nigeria, but in America over there, and I believe that in other parts of the world, I'm going to actually have so many estates by the special grace of God. But I believe that there are laws that actually guide the Realtor. So if you are going to execute any project or any sales, so to say, what are some of the laws one needs to actually familiarize him or herself with? So that one needs to arm himself with in order not to actually fall a victim. That's the number 2 question. Then the number 3 question is, okay, as you are aiming to actually move further, I discover you are learning every day. So what are some of the professional courses one can actually put in for? So what are your counsel? So that is going to be a blessing to one, so that by the time one actually gets to the market, so one will not be rubbished. Then there's going to be a successful delivery as far as the work is concerned. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Obasanjo. So you asked one question. So for building relationship partners, you said what are the requirements that is needed? So I have a minimal requirement for partnership. I don't bring people on board because they are my friends. I bring people on board because they have track record, however the track record is. And for example, what do I mean? See, you want to do a business, you don't bring in people. See, may I have a rule of thumb in business? I don't listen to what people say. Anybody can say anything. I listen to what they have done. not what they are going to do. If they say they want to do something, at least maybe they've done out of 100%, they've done 10%. Because the mistake I've made before is that I've gone into a relationship and the people I brought in are my friends. And because everybody said I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and at the end of the day, we couldn't achieve anything. It was later I found out that the people I brought in, I brought them based on emotions, based on friendship. And you see, the rule of business and the rule of friendship, see, they are parallel. They don't work together. That is why, friends fight when they come into business. The best of friends can become, worst of enemies. So my rule of thumb is this. We want to come into partnership. Even if you are my best friend, we are going to draw an agreement. This is your part. This is my part. If your part is not fulfilled, then this thing would not work. And before you bring in anybody, make sure they also have track record. Even if they have not done anything, they should have drive. Because the essence of business is not for us to just sit down and just be chit-chatting. The essence of business is this. When I talk to you, Mr. Obasanjo, tomorrow, see, the level of fire I'm seeing in you is even from the level of fire I've seen in you yesterday. So even if you have not accomplished, you can say, Blackmos, you know what happened? Yesterday I made a research about the next big real estate stuff that is happening in Nigeria. It's going to be happening in social place. How can we do it? There's a drive. So my rule of thumb for business relationship is this: there must be a track record. The people must have drive. And let's say the person doesn't have track record, the person doesn't have drive. There are some business relationship. They don't have that. That's none of that. They want to bring in money. So I have people like that. What's my? I don't call. Oh, you are the one motivated. I'm not motivated. That's none of my business. I'm not. I don't do any research with you. I'm a financial partner. I'm bringing in money. You are the one that have wisdom. You are the one that have that. I don't. Nothing concern me and all of your dive. You have dive. I say that you have dive. We want to follow you. We want to invest. So there'll be people like that wants to bring in money. And at that point, you can write a policy for them. Okay, if you bring in money, this is what we are going to do. But when people are not bringing in money and they want to be part of the business, that means they also want to have a share or equity in that business. Don't enroll people into business relationship on emotions. I can tell you 99.9% it will backfire. It will backfire because you might be the one doing all the push. They will not do the push. When the food is set, they will say, let us share 50-50. That's the truth. I've experienced, we just sold this house $1.2 million now. How far now? Bad months now. You cannot say no because they are already part of it. But you were the one praying, fasting, reading books, making research, talking to clients. They were just there having fun. So that's my rule of thumb. Don't bring in people. Don't bring in people that don't have drive. The second question is, I'm trying to understand your second question. Can you remind me?
Yes, I was asking about the law that wanted
Okay,
to actually, the law of the land that wanted to actually be knowledgeable of.
okay. Yeah. So the law of the land, let me give you, for example, like in the US, you want to be a realtor, they have a particular training certifications. They will do those certifications. You have to pass those certifications before you be able to sell. You're able to sell. So it is within that certification, and I know they will have that. If they don't, I know they have a body regulating real estate in Nigeria. I know they'll have that also. So here they have that route of people will do that. And also they also have trainings. They have like here when I started, I attended trainings. There are some trainings, and the whole idea of that training is that I want to acquaint myself with people that are already doing it, people that have, gotten the certifications, would have gotten a lot of things. So it helped me. So I would say the number one law of the land, look at it, there's always a governing body. In the US, they have a governing body for you to be a realtor in the US, they have a governing body. You would have to pass that exam before you can sell house. You cannot, they won't give you commission if you are not a realtor. And before you be a registered realtor, you have to you have to pass that exam. So the same thing also applies in builders in different states. Some states you have to have a GC. GC means general contractor. You have to be licensed to be able to do that. So I also believe in Nigeria there would also be body that as well that regulates the system where people have to, I would say, make your research. And the last one you talked about certifications that are needed.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many components that are needed in business, but I found that one of the most important components that is needed in business is marketing and selling skills. You must know how to market your craft. That's the truth. I told somebody like the level of your marketing. I know this might be in a wrong con. The level of your marketing is you're able to market a refrigerator to an Eskimo. An Eskimo doesn't need a refrigerator because it's always cold in the Arctic. That is, you're able to market something to someone that doesn't need it. They've bought it, but I don't need this house as such. Oh, okay. Since I've already bought the house, let us put it for rental. At least you can market, what's it called? You can market deep fire. You can market an oven for the devil. The devil doesn't need an oven because it's always hot in hellfire. What I'm saying is that your marketing skills should be good that you can market things to people that they don't even want to buy it. But because of the value you've brought into the table, they say, oh, I think we need to buy this house. We need to buy it now. And that's the whole idea. Like, you are not trying to be bad in terms of selling rubbish to them, but you can market something to people that even when they are thinking of buying it next 5 years, they will buy it now. So marketing skills and sales skills is very, very important. Very, very important. And after then, there are other certifications, that are needed within the context of, real estate. I know there'll be a couple of real estate mastery academy in Nigeria where people pay money to learn. But let me also say this, see, one thing I've seen in real estate is that people jump from one training to training. Oh, come and learn 20 P's to become a realtor, 40 P's to become a realtor. See, you get to a point in life that you go for those trainings is good. But get to a point in life when you said, okay, for now, I want to start implementing the things that I've learned. Because the problem of the 21st century is that people get too much knowledge, but they never apply it. So as you are going for those training, you go for just like the way you are here. I know tomorrow someone else might invite you, come and be a 6-digit or 7-digit realtor. So when you go, please get to a time frame and say, for now, I want to implement the things I've learned. So as you are going, please implement them. See, one of the most important skills I'll say is sales, marketing, and communication skills. No matter how good your product is, if you don't know how to market your product, Apple is one of the I would say viable product in the world. But what people don't know about Steve Jobs was one of the biggest effective communicator in his time. You must be able to understand your onions that you can talk to people. You see this meeting we're having before God and man. I didn't prepare. I'm telling you. I woke up 2:30. I still slept to 2:45. I went to prepare my laptop till 2:55. It was remaining 10 minutes. I began to look at my archives. But why am I able to speak with this? I've already been making research before now. So before you are going to speak to your next customer, arm yourself with knowledge that they can wake you up like 3 a.m. Like you will woke me up. This is 3 a.m. now. I should be sleeping. That someone can wake you up by 3 a.m. Mr. One Social, this home we want to sell in Banana Island. Can you sell it for us? Say yes. This is the value of this home. This is the cost. This is what it takes to sell home in Banana Island. This is the return. This is the ROI in the next 4 years. In the next 5 years, there's a projection that Banana Island will move about 250%. These are the data that you can wake up 2 a.m. and sell anything to anybody and they will buy. So don't wait for that time. always get prepared. That's the truth. This is 3M. It doesn't have prepared as such, that's the truth. But I could speak from my heart because before now, I've read a lot. I've made my research. So yeah, I hope that helps. So I don't take your time. Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that helps, Mr. Pastor Basanjo Samuel. Thank you so much for those questions. We'll take one more question before we let Mr. Olatude go. Like I said, it's very early in the morning in the US. You heard him say he woke up 2:30. Just to be sure, just to be here to give us value. So one more question, if there's any, before we let him go. I see here in the chat box. I see from Ladi. He said, "Please, I would like to know how to run ads for selling in real estate." Okay, Laddie, this is good. I would let him speak to that, but we also have a master class on this. It's going to be posted on the group. We've done 2 trainings on this, which is going to be on the RMP group. If you are here and you're not on the RMP group, that is a Realtor Mastery Professional group. We have the RMA event, but we have the RMP, those who are ready to take a deep dive. So Laddie, that's already been conducted, but let me just allow Mr. Olatude to speak.
If you say that is already being conducted, maybe I would defer to, you know, I would but on the surface value for doing ads for real estate, what I usually do is they are targeted ads. Like for example, there are certain areas like in the US, I know they are high value area, people that, you know, buy a particular home, their demographic, you know, people. I do ads based on, I don't just do a general ads. I mean, this ads is based on people in a particular financial class. If the house costs around $300,000, there's no need selling a house that costs $300,000 for people that I know that their financial capacity is $5,000. They won't buy. You understand? So I try to create a group to ads. Okay, this, you know, this is the ad we've done before and it has really worked. Maybe our target has been Lagos and Abuja. It has worked. Or our target has been the whole of Nigeria. We now segment it. People within social class. So because if you do general ads that way, you might lose. And what I usually do for some of my ads in other businesses that the ads, there's always a link to that ad that people are just going to feel a little bit about themselves. So it gives us an idea. If someone feel a little bit about themselves and they said, you know, maybe they are the NNPC director and we are selling a home for $1 million. And someone said is a, you know, the person sells, you know, granite on the highway. Nothing against it, but I know that this person that is selling granite on the highway would not be able to buy what I'm selling. So I won't waste my time. I can just say, oh, thank you for this, you know, thank you for this. I know the person would not be able to do. So sometimes you just help you understand, you know, to help you understand your potential customers and if you have to waste time on them or if not. But I would also leave it to Mr. Fancy since they said there is already there's already a proposed class for selling of arts.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We have trainings for RMP. Thank you for that insightful addition. I have Nnam. You raised your hand. Nnam, N-A-N-N-A-M. You raised your hand. If you have a question, this is your time. We just want to take one more question. I will take it out. So Nnam, over to you.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask, what are the pitfalls to avoid whilst doing the real estate business?
Okay. I would say the pitfalls to avoid is number one, don't commit your money into things. You know, I was speaking in terms of numbers. Really, from the side of a builder, I don't commit my money into things when the people I'm working with don't really have track record. Like sometimes when I really want to do business with people, if I don't know them, I hardly give them money upfront. Like I hardly give them upfront. There's nothing, oh, let us sell this house, come and put 10 million. No, I hardly give them. So it saves me. So if anything happens, I don't do this. And number two is that I would say for any business transaction in the real estate, there should be a legal document that is binding you and either the seller or the buyer. There's a legal document. And ensure that the person also has an entity, not just an unknown person. Anybody can put their name on a legal document. They don't have a company, they don't have an address. How do you trace them when issue happens? So I always ensure there's a legal document. All of the people I work with, my contractors, there's a legal document binding us. So the day you misbehave, I'm taking you to court straight away because this is money involved in it. Yeah, this is money. This is money. And the last thing is, for the industry you are working, you want to go into, please understand the compliance, all of the compliance and the regulations. Do not assume. Do not assume. Let's say you want to buy land for someone in Lekki and you're already taking the money, you're giving it to Omonile. It was later you found that land doesn't have a government consent, and they said it has a government consent. So you can't even be in between. The money that you've given the money to has gone. So I would say always do your due diligence. For example, when we bought we were in a business of around 1,000 acres of land here in Dallas. When I was subdividing my part to 6 acres, I did all of my due diligence. This land, can I build a home on this land? Can I subdivide it? Do I have approval? Do I have insurance? So I would say, for example, I want to do a deal. I'm going to outline all of the approvals that are needed. So before I close it, I must make sure I check all of those marks. I check it first approval. This land is approved to build. This land has government consents. This land, maybe plans are approved, the gazetted are approved, all of those things. It would have, it's going to save you of pitfall. It's going to save you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olatunde Badmos, MD CEO of Excel Homes. Everyone, if you're excited and you got so much value, can you type in value in the chat box? Type in value in the chat box. If you're in the RMP group, you want to put value on that group. Just express how much value you've gotten today on the RMP group. For those who are RMPs, what the RMP, simply for those who don't know what it is a Realtor Mastery Professional Group. That is the main inner caucus where we kind of share the tricks and dice and take a deep dive on trainings. If you don't train them, don't blame them. Superstars, you've heard about capacity development, you've heard about seeking for knowledge, you've had all that. That's what we do on the RMP group. Type in value. Whatever you celebrate, you are celebrating your life. Type in value. For those who are excited about this session, type in value. So much value today. Once again, thank you so much. Somebody called you a professor. They said Professor Badmos. I know you're on the way for that. You are currently on your PhD journey. There's no stopping for you. We bless God for your life, and we know this is just the starting point for you. The sky is the starting point. So just wanted people to know on this call, I've not discussed this with Professor Badmos. We are going to be having a master class for those who are interested in selling properties in the US. You want to earn in USD. We're going to be having a master class where we'll be able to also open up people to be able to have access to sell properties in the US. There are Nigerians all over the world who live in Nigeria, who live in diaspora, who wants to take a share of the pie. We're going to be having this masterclass, and by the grace of God, we will be having Mr. Badmos Olatunde again, just being crowned a professor here on this session because of the insightful delivery he has given us. Thank you so much. This masterclass will be focused on how do I sell in the US? How do I also sell for Excel properties in the US and earn in USD? This is one masterclass you don't want to miss. At this time junction, we would like to draw the curtain. So we allow him just rest. He's been up since 2:30 a.m. just to deliver this value to us. We are excited. We are grateful. This are many more are the kind of people the world needs. A man who is willing to see people win. Thank you so much. You've gone through your own road, but you want to ensure people are also taken by the hand. Somebody once said, if you know the way to a place, your journey is short. If you know the road to the place, your journey is shorter. But if you are taken by the hand, you're already there. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Olatude Badmus. We appreciate you. Now, tomorrow will be the grand finale of our event. And tomorrow we're going to be having Mr. Tony Aspire. Mr. Tony Aspire is a visionary entrepreneur, influential leader, and co-founder of BRG Nigeria. They raised a realtor group of about 100,000 realtors all over Africa. He serves as the president of Redan, and he provides strategic guidance and drive initiatives that strengthen the real estate development, ethical industry growth in Nigeria. You would also want to hear from him. Superstars, it's been 3 days of immense value. Day 1 was awesome. Day 2, today, like you see, it's been off the roof. We're going to cap it up tomorrow, day 3, with Mr. Tony Aspire. Now, learners, they say, shall inherit the earth, but the land are beautifully prepared for a world that never exists. Superstars, if you keep learning, you can be sure that you keep growing. This is where we draw the curtain for today. I'm excited. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Olatude. There's been so much value. I've learned so much myself. I've upskilled myself. Thank you for your humility, for your stunning desire, doggedness, and faith to continue going. This has created a path for many more, including myself, to believe and to keep pressing. Thank you, sir, for being on this session.
Thank you so much.
Any final words before you go, sir?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this word. Don't give up. You have a glorious destiny ahead of you. Don't give up, because sometimes if you stay consistent, you would amaze yourself. You will not even amaze others. So please, because then I looked at where I'm coming from, where I couldn't pay house rent of 120,000 naira in a year, which is close to $80. And where we are building new communities, by the grace of God. The gap is like heaven to hell. If I had given up around that time, maybe I'm still going to be in that place struggling. So please, don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What a way to close the session today. Thank you so much. Superstars, you had the word. Don't give up. See you tomorrow, same time, same link. God bless you.